After previously announcing that he was suspending his presidential campaign, former CEO of Godfather's Pizza, Herman Cain, has announced that he is re-entering the race. So definitely be interesting to see if Cain comes with anything new tonight. So with that, we welcome our GOP presidential candidates to the stage. All right. Let's give all of our candidates a moment to introduce themselves in the following format. I am Wolf Blitzer, and I host a show on CNN. Start here.
All right. Good morning. I am Rick Santorum. I was a senator of the United States for 2 terms, and I am now running for the presidential position. And I'd like to just say thank you to the Verve Club for hosting this debate today. It is an honor.
Hello, my name is Michelle Hoffman. I'm a former congresswoman. I would just say thank you all for being here. Thank you, Wolf, for hosting the debate. And I'd like to say most importantly that I'm a mom.
My name is businessman Herman Cain, and I was CEO of Godfather's Pizza for many years. And I think that to get this economy growing again, this economy is on life support. And to get it growing again, we don't need another politician. We need a businessman who knows how the economy works.
I'm Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House of Representatives and former law historian. Pretty bad. I'm Mitt Romney, mittens to some. I too am a mom. I too am a businessman. And I too am a former Speaker of the House. I'm a Mormon. What most people don't realize is that has nothing to do with sparkling or being a vampire. In fact, Mormon is just an anagram for normal. And I'm very normal. And I'm trying very hard to look presidential.
I'm Rick Perry.
I'm Ron Paul. I'm a congressman from Texas. I believe in freedom and the Constitution. That's what I'm going to be showing you today, is that liberty needs to come before anything else.
I'm John Huntsman. I was governor of Utah from 2005 to 2009, elected and re-elected with 77% of the vote, ambassador to China and Singapore, as well as the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I also served as the deputy U.S. Trade Representative under George Bush. Thank you.
All right, welcome to all of our candidates. So we're going to have a couple rounds of questioning. We'll start with the subject that's on the mind of all Americans right now, which is the economy. So I will ask each of you, most of you, some specific questions, and if you reference some of your fellow candidates in your answers, we may find time for a rebuttal. Let's start with you, Congressman Paul. Congressman Paul, the Federal Reserve, once again, keeping interest rates near zero. Is the era of free money hurting or helping the American economy?
Well, what I believe is that the Federal Reserve is not doing what is given by the Constitution. I believe that we need to get rid of the Federal Reserve, we need to audit it, and then get rid of it completely so that it does not inflame the money supply. We need to get rid of the business cycle because that is not only causing that volume of the dollar to drop, it is also causing recessions. And that's not good for the American people. It is the hidden tax of inflation. So that's why I believe that the Federal Reserve needs to be gotten rid of so that we don't have this hidden tax. We can't have the Federal Reserve in place. It is not given the power to do this by the Constitution.
Interesting. Governor Ron, your economic plan has some 50-plus points in it. Is your plan too complicated for the American people?
It's less complicated than half the best. My plan is to jumpstart the economy. It worked in Massachusetts. If people like it, I'll do it. If people don't like it, I'll do whatever they like.
Governor Perry, you created more jobs than he did in Massachusetts. How would you respond to Governor Romney's answer?
What was his answer?
Really?
What was his answer?
About how he was going to use the same job creation tactics that he did in Massachusetts.
Oh, well, Texas made the most jobs last year, even in a recession. That's what I'm going to do for the United States when elected president.
All right, very good. Speaker Gingrich, recent analysis of your tax proposal from the Tax Policy Center indicates that when your plan is implemented, it will reduce federal revenue by approximately 1/3. Is that analysis accurate?
That analysis is not accurate, Wolf, because this is a static analysis, as my friend Herman Cain is often like to point out, it's apples and oranges, assuming that nothing happens to the economy. Cutting taxes by $800 billion will actually result in a massive upswell of the economy, providing jobs for all of these fantastic Americans here today, which will more than replace the lost revenue.
Kane, would you like to respond?
I would like to agree with Speaker Gingrich, and I would like to say that the best plan presented is the 999 plan of a 9% corporate tax, a 9% individual tax, and a 9% national sales tax. This economy is on life support, and to get it off the life support, we need a bold solution that is simple, fair, and effective. My plan is the only proven simple plan out of all the other candidates. Governor Romney's is over 50 points. Michelle Bachmann hasn't even outlined a plan for the economy. So I think we need a simple, bold solution to get this economy back and growing again.
Congresswoman Bachmann, would you like to respond?
Yeah, unlike Herman Cain's 999, I have a win-win-win plan that has my 10 points. It is now available on my website. I will go through them. I don't have time to go through all 10 tiers of my plan, but I will hit on the first two. First, we will lower the taxes for repatriated dollars in foreign markets. By doing this, it will give an immediate stimulus to the United States economy with incentives for businesses to invest in the United States. Secondly, we must massively cut government spending. We must shrink the size of government and balance the budget. As a mom, I know what it is to balance a household budget, and the government must do exactly the same thing. We must cut wasteful and duplicative programs. We must cut overspending because it devalues the dollar. If you want further details on my plan, Herman, go to my website.
Mr. King, many criticize your 999 policy as being a tax increase on the most vulnerable Americans. How do you respond?
Well, first I'd like to say that my 999 plan is not fully 999 because the lower class of people don't pay any income tax under my plan. Under the status quo, there are several brackets. Under my plan, there's a flat rate, and the lowest people don't actually have to pay any under my plan. So I get rid of the income tax for the lowest people. So no, that analysis is incorrect. That's the problem with it, is that it's incorrect. My plan doesn't tax income of the lowest people.
Governor Huntsman, you've released your own economic plan, and you've heard the plans proposed by Congresswoman Bachmann and Mr. King. How do you weigh it?
Well, I outweigh it, obviously. Just looking back when I was governor of Utah, these two plans are somewhat parallel. And when I was governor of Utah, Utah was named the best managed state by the Pew Center on Business. Our budget went up by 150% while spending only increased by 5 to 6%. Utah maintained a AAA bond rating, and I'm sure, and they also created 71,000 jobs under my tenure. So when we look at my economic plan for the United States, it will include tax cuts, only 3 income tax brackets, starting at 7%, 14%, and 24%, as well as lowering the corporate tax rate to 25%. This plan was outlined by Alan Simpson and Ernestine Bowles. We'll also eliminate capital gains taxes and dividend taxes, as well as create a holiday for repatriation of corporate profits. So ultimately, this plan is the most economically proven since I was doing a very similar plan in Utah. This is the one that's endorsed by the most experts, Bowles and Simpson.
Time. We're running into time.
All right.
Congressman Paul, you've heard all of these candidates' plans to utilize the government to create economic growth. Does the government have a role in creating economic growth, or should it simply get out of the way?
I think the only role of the government is to get completely out of the economy. I've supported in the past getting rid of the individual income tax and only funding the government through indirect taxes such as an excise tax and non-protectionist tariffs. That's what I believe the government should do. I believe that we should get out of people's lives and get out of their money so that they can spend that money to create economic growth. We will fund the government through massive spending cuts that I propose to the American people by eliminating 5 governmental departments and by these non-direct taxes such as excise tax. That's how we should fund the government, by getting rid of the income tax and funding it through spending cuts, massive ones.
Congressman Santorum. In November, the economy added 120,000 jobs, and the unemployment rate fell to 8.6%, the lowest figure since March 2009. Is President Obama's economy recovering?
Well, I think the answer to that is pretty obvious, and the answer is no. Obama's economy is going to, like any economy, have its dips and a few hills in it. And we've seen one of the hills back in November, but definitely no. And one thing that we've ignored as candidates, as a party even, is one of the most basic, central units of the economy, and that is the family. When we have strong families, we will have a strong economy. And that is why I am pushing for new jobs that will enable people to support their families and supporting initiatives that will strengthen our families in today's world.
Congressman Paul, what is the role of the government as it comes to the family?
No role whatsoever. The government needs to get out of the family's business, get out of education, get out of taxes, get out of everything. The government has no role in legislating upon the family. The family can do what they want. That's their constitutional right. The government has no role in that.
Interesting. Congresswoman Bach, as a mom, how do you see the government's role in this situation?
My role is that the government should be a help to the family, not a hindrance.
All right, short and sweet. Governor Romney, your economic plan calls for labeling China a currency manipulator because it undervalues the yuan to boost its exports. However, does your plan risk a trade war with China?
First of all, I'd like to clarify that we are already at war with China in at least one way. Secondly, yes, and I think that's a good thing. I think that China is a threat, and that the more trade wars we can start with China, the more we can show our economic hegemony. I think that's essential, and although my book says the opposite, I've recently changed my mind.
Governor Huntsman, you served as ambassador to China under the Obama administration previously, so you're obviously very familiar with China. What do you think about the governor's comments and how you view U.S.-China relations?
Well, I think he's exactly wrong. China is not our enemy. China is a potential ally, and we should seek to not war with that enemy. Rather, we should seek to pass trade bills towards it and help our trade, and get our products out into the global market, and start exporting, and start helping their economy to help our economy. It will create jobs in this America.